Hi, guys.
Hey,
Sorry about that. I had technical difficulty.
no worries. I thought it was on my end.
Nope, it was transit. I have to sign in as Lori. It usually doesn't make me, but it's done it one other time, and I have to like use Lori's stuff to sign in. So I had to text her really quick and get her stuff, and so anyway, here we are.
Well, good to see ya.
You. So I think we had just a couple more we're waiting on. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just give them a couple minutes in case they thought it was their problem too. You guys might want just one block. We're going to work on balancing half moon. After a little flow, that'll be our balancing pose. So if you'd like to use a block for that, you can grab one. If you don't need one for that, don't worry about it. Just thought I'd throw it out there in case anybody wants it. Let me make sure. Seeing a couple other people. So we will kind of slowly get started. Got our block if you need it. We'll just kind of start. Welcome to Power Flow. I'm Tiffany, subbing for Lori tonight. Have a good workout planned for you. So, just follow along as best as you can, but don't worry about it if you kind of get behind or something doesn't make sense. Just move your body whatever way feels good to you. Make this your workout. I'm just here to guide, give suggestions. So, yeah, we'll get started. So we'll start out in a comfortable seated position. Just start to close your eyes. Quiet your thoughts. Start to let your breath relax. Leaving aside whatever happened today. Leaving aside whatever you have to do next. And allow this time for yourself. Allow your body to move freely without judgment. Allow yourself to just let go and have fun with your practice tonight. Take a deep breath in. Take a long, slow exhale out through your mouth. Again, deep breath in. Long, slow exhale out through your mouth. Do a few rounds of breath like this on your own. With each exhale, letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. Letting go of your stresses, worries, negativity, even if it's just for this hour. 2 more rounds of breath this way. And then return to your natural breath. And then slowly start to open your eyes. Wiggle your spine up tall so you're sitting up nice and straight and tall. And take a deep breath in and shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And then exhale, open your chest and slide the shoulder blades down your back. Again, inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, open the chest and slide the shoulders down. Again, sitting up tall. Next, we're going to bring the chin over towards the right shoulder. Kind of looking down, stretching the left side of the neck. And then start to bring this side of your head, right side of your occipital bone towards your right shoulder. So you're looking up almost at a diagonal. And then bring your ear to your right shoulder. And then slowly roll the chin down towards your chest. Stretching the back of your neck. And then roll your ear over to your left shoulder. And then look up at that diagonal. And then turn and bring your chin down towards your left shoulder. Gently bring the chin back down to your chest. Next, just roll your head around a couple of times, one direction, nice and slow. And then roll it the other direction. And then bring the head back up to center. Sitting up tall. Next, we're going to bring the bottoms of your feet together and come into butterfly pose, letting the knees open up. If you'd like to bring yourself a little closer, you can scoot your feet closer to you and then bring your hands behind you and scoot yourself closer to your feet. You notice that automatically drops the knees open a little bit more. And you can stay here if that's a lot on your inner thighs, or bring your hands out in front of you. Maybe start to fold forward. Just take it slow at first. Letting the hips and the inner thighs start to open up. We are going to do a lot of leg work, so we're going to get the legs nice and stretched out and ready to work. One more breath here. And then slowly walk the hands back in. Next, we're going to bring the right foot out. Keep this left foot in. You can bring the heel to the crease of your left leg or over to the right, whatever feels good to you. Get yourself adjusted here, maybe adjusting the seat, making sure the sitting bones are evenly on the mat, and then flexing your right foot. We're going to turn towards that leg, bringing the hands on the outside, each side of the legs rather, and start to walk forward. As you walk forward, you're lining your body up with your leg. When you can't go any further that way, then you can grab onto your shin, your ankle, your foot, and then fold. Keep bringing the body over the leg, bringing the nose closer to your knee. A nice stretch on the inside of the leg. One more breath here. And then release the foot and slowly come up towards the center. Then we're going to slide the right hand on the inside of the right leg. Bring your left arm up and over, reaching towards those toes. You might be able to grab them. if you can grab them, or if not, either way, see if you can open your shoulder up, your left shoulder up more towards the ceiling. So that means you have to let go of the toes. That's more important than grabbing the toes. This is going to get you a really good side stretch along with the leg stretch. One more breath here. And then on the next inhale, start to come back up towards the center, nice and slow. We're going to bring the right foot in, left foot out. This heel goes whichever crease feels comfortable, and then getting a nice even seat. Flexing the foot, and then facing the leg, walking the hands out, lining up the body until you can't go any farther. Then you can fold. Grabbing on to wherever you can reach tonight. One more breath here. Release and slowly come back up to the center. Facing the center, slide the left hand on the inside of the leg. Right arm comes up and over, maybe grabbing the toes, but most importantly, opening up that right shoulder. So you get that side stretch as much as possible. One more breath here. And then on the next inhale, start to come back up to the center. We're going to open this right leg up. So we're in a wide leg seat. Bringing the hands out in front of you, sitting up tall first, and then starting to walk forward. Again, as little or as much as you need. Take it slow, listen to the body. Flexing the feet. One more breath here. And slowly walk back in. Next, we're going to come into stack pose, bringing the legs straight out in front of you. Sitting up tall, flexing the feet. And then inhale, bringing the arms up into the air. Stretch up as tall as you can, and then hinge from the hips, reaching as far as you can reach. And then when you can't reach and fold anymore, then fold. On your next inhale, start to lift your head. We're going to bring the left hand outside of the right foot and start to lift this right arm out. Twisting open to the right, twist as little or as far as you need. Hopefully a stretch on the outside of your leg. And inhale, bring the arm across and outside the left foot, then lift that left arm out, twisting open to the left. Bring that hand back and grab on one more time, one more forward fold. And then inhale, slowly roll back up to seated in stack pose. We're going to swing the legs around and come to hands and knees, tabletop. So making sure your wrists are directly under your shoulders, knees under hips, feet in line with knees. Nice straight spine to start with. And we're going to do our cat-cow stretches. So rounding the spine for cat, tuck the chin, drop the belly, lift the chin for cow. Round for cat, drop and lift for cow. Moving through these with your own breath. Keeping our spine moving. Let's do one more cat. And one more cow. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine. Next, we're going to bring the right leg out behind you, coming up onto your toes. We're going to press through the heel, pressing the heel closer to your mat to get a calf stretch. If you don't quite feel it, use your hands to push yourself back a little bit more, then you'll feel it. And then drop your foot over to the right. So you're coming on the outside of your foot, stretching the ankle. Bring the heel back up to center and then drop the foot over to the left, coming on the inside of your foot. Back up to center. And now lift that foot, point the toe. Try to bring your foot or your leg straight out from your hip. And we're gonna also lift the left arm, bringing that straight out, pointing through the fingers, through the toes, engaging the core, pressing the belly button up towards the spine. Then we're gonna come to a diagonal, bringing the left arm out to the left, right leg out to the left, right. Bring it back in. Bring it out. And back in. We're gonna try for 5 of these. You can do less or more if you need to. 2 more. Last one, hold your last one out. And then bring it back in, stretch and hold, stay there or bend the right knee. Stay there or grab your foot with your left hand. Stay there or press the foot into your hand, opening up your shoulder. So you get a quad stretch and a shoulder opener with this. Bring the hips back up to center if you start to lean. And release and set that down. A couple of circles around with your wrists. Child's pose always if you need it. Lift that right wrist up and give it a little bit better circle. We're going to do it all on the other side. So the left foot comes out, we're on the toes, and then we press back. Using the hand, if you need it to press the heel closer to the floor. And bring the heel back up, drop the foot to the inside of the foot, so heel over to the right. Bring it back up and then drop the foot over to the outside of the foot, so over to the left. Bring it back up, and we're going to lift the foot, point the toes. Lift the right hand, stretching through the fingers and the toes, holding that, engaging the core. And then we're going to do the 5 diagonals, so right hand out to the right, left leg out to the left, and back in. Bring it out, back in. Bringing it out, back in. We have 2 more. And on your last one, we're going to hold it out there. And then bring it back in, stretch and hold. Stay there or bend the knee. Stay there or grab your foot with your right hand. Stay there or press your foot into your hand, open the chest, get that quad stretch on the left side, shoulder opener on the right side. Good, set those back down. Go ahead and take a child's pose. A couple of breaths here, stretching out the arms so you can get that lower back stretched out a little bit. Maybe some wrist circles while you're down there. One more breath here. And then come back up onto hands and knees. Now we're going to step the right foot in between the legs. Scoot your left knee back a little bit and come onto the top of your foot. You can stay here, or you can come up onto your thigh. I'm going to kick this left foot up, grab the foot, stay there. You can actually twist from here. So you're just twisting to the right, keeping your hand up on your thigh, or if you want to take it a little deeper, twisted monkey lunge, bring your hand to the mat on the inside of your foot, and you're going to twist open to the left. Keep pushing that foot towards your butt. The more you push it, the more quad stretch you get if you need that. One more breath. And then release. Bring the hand back down. Step the right knee back. And then switch. Left foot comes forward. Remember, there's different versions of this. Take what you need. You can stay here just stretching your hip. You also get a little quad stretch with that. Or you can come up onto the thigh. You can twist here without grabbing the foot. Or grab your foot. You can twist like that. Going the other way. So otherwise, if you're doing it this way, we're going to drop. Rather, you're grabbing it with your left hand, drop your right hand. Sorry if I confused you. And then we're going to twist open to the left. But so the more you press the foot towards your butt, the more quad stretch you get if you need that. One more breath. And then set that foot down. Bring the hands back to the mat. Bring that knee back to meet your left knee. Take a child's pose if you need it. Maybe just circle around the wrist. Take what you need here. A couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes and come into a bent leg downward dog. Really bending the knees, pressing through the hands, lifting the shoulders up and back, pressing the hips up as high as they'll go, and then start to lower your right heel down, keep the left knee bent. And then switch. Stretching the back of the leg that's straight. Do that a couple of times, holding it longer if you need it, or walking it a little faster, whatever. Take whatever you need here. But then we're gonna make sure that you have some room. I might move myself a little bit. We're gonna come into Wild Thing eventually here in a minute, if that's in your practice. So come into your downward dog, pressing both heels down towards the mat. Then we're gonna take the right hand and reach it outside of your left leg, looking underneath your left armpit. But then place that hand back down. We're gonna come into Wild Thing on the left. So you're gonna flip over, you're on your left hand, left foot. Your right hand reaches up and back. Right foot is down. Flip back over, downward dog. Take a few breaths, press the heels down towards the mat. Then we're gonna take the left hand outside of the right foot, twisted downward dog, looking underneath the right armpit. Then bring that hand back, and you can stay there or try your Wild Thing, flipping to the right. Might be different on different sides. You might be able to do it one side and not the other, reaching up and over with the left hand, and then flip back to downward dog. Pausing here. Maybe move your hips side to side. A couple of breaths. Then press those heels down towards the mat. Look at your hands and step your feet up to your hands, coming into a forward fold. Knees can be bent, hips up towards the ceiling, folding as deep as you can. And then half lift, straighten the legs, flatten the back. Head goes straight forward. And forward fold. And then reverse swan dive. Sweep the arms up into the air. Stretch up tall. And then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step your feet back into a plank. Knees can always be up or down, up to you. Wrists under shoulders, holding that there. And then slowly lower down. Squeeze the elbows in, lift the chest, press the feet into the mat, cobra. And then tuck the toes, come into downward dog. Press the heels down towards the mat. Look up at your hands. You can hop up there if you'd like, or step your feet up to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, reverse swan dive, stretch up tall. Exhale, release the arms down. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back, plank, holding it there. Engaging the core, and then slowly lower down. Squeeze the elbows in. You can take cobra or upward facing dog up on the tops of your feet, looking up. And then flip your feet, down dog. Press the heels down towards the mat. Take a breath. And then looking up at the hands, step or hop up to forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold. And then inhale, reverse swan dive, sweeping the arms up, stretch up. Exhale, arms down. Last one, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Lift the hands, step back into plank, hold it there. And then slowly lower down. Point your toes and come into cobra or upward dog. And then tuck the toes, downward dog. Pressing the heels to the mat, taking a child's pose or a drink if you need it. Good, then lifting your right leg up into the air, stretching that foot up as high as you can. Point the toes, press the left heel down towards the mat. Look up in between your hands and step that foot in between the hands and push up into a high lunge. Back heels up, we're stretching up. front knees bent. But then we're going to twist open to the right, coming into a revolved lunge. But then we're going to turn into warrior two. Plant the back heel, bring the knee. And we're going to come into a reverse triangle. Straighten your knee, and it's just like reverse warrior, but with straight legs. And we're going to come all the way over into a side angle, elbow on the knee, stretch the arm, even with the ear. Then we're going to turn and face that foot, plant the hand, step back to a plank. Stay here or tap each shoulder one time, and then press up into downward dog. And we're going to lift the left foot up, pointed toes, press the heel down on the right side, and then step that foot forward and move right into that high lunge, back heels up. Then we're going to twist open to the left and come into warrior two, twisting back. Straighten the knee, reverse triangle, and come all the way over to side angle, stretching through the fingertips. Turn and face your foot, step into plank, tap each shoulder one time, and then come into downward dog. Take a child's pose or a drink if you need it. And then we'll be back up in downward dog. We're going to lift that right leg up into the air, step that foot forward. We're going to come into a revolved lunge. So you're at low lunge. We're going to plant the left hand and twist open to the right. And then drop your right hand, twist open to the left. So side angle, but with the hand down. You have your block there if you need your block. Now we're going to push up and come into reverse warrior. Take some quad strength there. Now we're going to come up and around, coming into a twisted lunge. So hands at heart center, elbow outside of knee, twist open to the right. But drop the knee, hands to heart center, top of the foot on the mat, stretch the arms either straight up or into a back bend. But drop the hands, plant the hands, lift the knee, step back to a plank. Now we're going to tap each shoulder 2 times. You don't have to do any taps, you can stay with the one. And then when you're done, downward dog. The breath, and then lift the left leg up. Step it forward, we're going to come into that revolved lunge. So right hand down, twist open to the left. But then left hand down, twist open to the right, side angle with the hand down. Then we're going to push up into reverse warrior. And then we're going to come all the way into a twisted lunge. Back heel comes up, hands at heart center, elbow into knee, twisting to the left. Good, and then drop the knee, top of the foot on the floor, stretching up. Bring the hands to the mat, step back to plank, tap 2 times each shoulder. Press up into downward dog. Remember to take child's pose or any other resting pose if you need to. Take a breath. And we're going to add on to that. So we're going to do all that again, but add on some more. So we're going to lift the right leg up into the air. Step that foot forward, coming into that revolved lunge. So twisting over to the right. Drop the hand, twist to the left. Now we're going to push up and over into reverse warrior. And we're going to come all the way into that twisted lunge, lifting the back heel, hands at heart center, elbow into knee. We're going to bring the hands back to the mat, drop the knee, crescent lunge, stretching up or up and back. But now we're going to tuck this toe, bring your hands behind your head and see if you can lift your knee up. So you're in high lunge with your hand behind your head. If you can't do it that way, just get there the way that you can. And then lift your hands up overhead, palms together, bend over, front knee still bent, tap the mat. Then we're going to come up and over into warrior two, but we're going to have eagle arms. But now we're going to turn back into a lunge. It's called zombie lunge. So your arms are going to go straight out like a zombie. And then bowing warrior, you're going to lean forward, bring the hands back, drop the hands, come into plank, tap 3 times. And then come into downward dog. We're going to do it on the other side. So lifting the left leg up. stepping that foot forward into that revolve lunge first, so twisting to the left. Bring the hand back, side angle to the right. Put the hand down. Push up into that reverse warrior. And then we're going to come all the way into that twisted lunge. So hands at heart center, lift the heel, elbow into knee, hands at heart center. Good. Turn back to your foot, drop the knee, hands up, forward and back bend. Good. Now see if you can tuck the toes, hands behind head. See if you can lift that knee up. Bring the palms together and straight up. Bend over and tap the fingers on the floor. And then come up into the warrior two with eagle arms. Turn back to that zombie lunge, arms straight out. And then bowing warrior, arms down. Good, bring the hands down. Step back, you can take your plank with the touches, or you can go to downward dog, or you can take a couple of breaths in child's pose. I'm choosing that because I can't talk. Okay, couple of breaths. But then when you're ready, we're gonna come back to downward dog. But now we're gonna lift the right leg up into the air. We're gonna just do this last part that we just did. So stepping forward into that lunge with the hands behind head. We're going right to that one. Good, then we're gonna lift the hands up, palms together, bend over, touch the mat. Open up into the warrior two with eagle arms. And then turn to that zombie lunge, arms straight out. And then bowing warrior, arms behind you. From here, we're gonna come into warrior three. So kick your back foot up. Try to lift that leg straight out behind you. You can step your foot down if you need to. So arms are going straight out, legs going straight out. You have your block here. If you'd rather put the hands on the block. Keep that close by, because from here, we're gonna come into balancing half moon. So we're gonna drop the right hand onto the floor on the block. Keeping that left leg out, we're gonna start to twist, open to the left. Straightening this right leg. Try to bring the left leg straight out from your hip, and then keep your hands on your hip first and start to open your chest, bringing the shoulder up towards the ceiling, and then start to open your arm. Good, and then turn back towards your foot. Step that foot back and step back to downward dog. Take a breath. Good, then we're gonna lift the left leg up. Step that foot forward. We're gonna come into that lunge with the hands behind the head. Open the chest. Then bring the palms up and overhead, bend over and tap the mat. And then open up into warrior two with eagle arms. And then turn back to that zombie lunge, hands up in front of you. And then bowing warrior. From here, we're gonna come into warrior three. So taking that back foot up, hands go out in front of you, legs going straight out behind you. And then we're gonna drop the left hand. Bring that right hand to your hip. Open up the chest, bringing the shoulder up towards the ceiling. Trying to straighten that left leg as much as you can. Right leg coming out from your hip as much as it can, straight out. And then start to lift that right arm up. Dropping back when you're ready. Coming into downward dog. Press the heels down towards the mat. And then drop your knees wide on the mat. So coming into a wide knees, child pose. There we go, sort of. Wide knee child's pose, stretching the arms up, bringing the head to the mat. Taking a couple breaths. Take this time to grab water if you need water. One more breath here. Slowly start to lift your head, come up onto hands and knees, walk your knees back in. And then you're gonna walk your feet in between your hands. So coming back up to standing for just a moment, bending the knees a little bit, letting your body hang. And then grab opposite elbows and let your lower back release. Let your neck and shoulders relax. You can sway side to side if you like. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Couple more breaths here. And then plant your hands. Walk your feet out a little bit wider than hip width. Heels in, toes out, bending the knees. Going to come into Halasana. Pressing the elbows into the knees, hands at heart center. Heels might be up, heels might be down. Press the tailbone closer to the mat so you're straightening your spine as much as possible. And then release the hands. And we're going to come to sitting. We have some ab work and one more kind of fun, not fun, depends, pose, and then we'll slow it down. So for our ab work today, come to seated, and then slowly start to roll down. Let your feet come onto the mat. Take a couple of breaths just laying down. Getting ourselves ready for our ab work. And we're going to lift both feet, keeping the knees bent. We're going to bring the arms straight out in front of us, straight up. And so while we're doing this, you want to press the belly button towards the spine. So you're almost trying to press the lower back into the mat so that you're engaging your core. So we're going to keep this knee bent. We're going to take the left foot, actually we're not keeping it bent, we're going to take the left foot, keep it straight, this knee is bent. So your right arm goes up over your head, your left leg comes up, but we're not touching the floor. Bring them back up, and then do the other side. So nothing is touching the floor, we're keeping the ones that we're not moving, leg bent, arm up, and just take this with your own pace. You could go faster, you can hold it longer. Just make sure you're paying attention to the movement so you're getting that core work. It's not really about the legs or the arms, it's about the core. So let's do like 2 more on each side. On your last one on each side, hold it out. So hold the arm out, the leg out. Hold it there. Notice what that's doing. You really have to engage the core. One more breath. Bring it back in. Last one on the other side. Hold it out. Bring it back up and give the knees a hug. Rock side to side. And then we're going to rock so that you roll to one side and then come over onto your belly. This is kind of our last little piece of work before we get to really stretch and calm it down. So we're going to work on half bow and bow. So this is another one of those where you can take different variations. I love poses that it's not just the pose, it's not all or nothing. You can work on something. So we'll take the left elbow. We're going to prop up on the left elbow. We're going to kick the right foot back. And then you can grab the foot and bring it as close as it'll go to your butt. You get a back bend here and a quad stretch. If you want to take the back bend out, you can bring your arm up a little bit or bring it all the way up here and rest your head on your arm. You still get that quad stretch, but no back bend. So take what you need. If you're going to work on bow though, you may want to take at least a little bit of the back bend part. One more breath here. And then release that foot. We're going to switch. So prop up on that right elbow. The left foot back, you could just stay with that. Or grab the foot, press it as close as you'd like. Stay propped up or kind of rest into it. Couple of breaths. Good, and then release that foot down. So next we'll work on bow. You can stay with either of these variations, or you can come down even further. Take both feet back. So make sure your knees are straight out from your hips. Grab onto the tops of your feet. And you're going to start to kick your feet into your hands and lift your chest up. Lift your knees up off of the mat. Lift your chin up as high as you can. Shoulders are straight back. You don't really have a choice there. Rock back and forth if you'd like. Moving your stomach tends to kind of give your intestines a massage. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the hips, and release. Make a forward pillow, let your head and your legs relax. Take some deep breaths. We're going to calm it down now. Which side of your face you're laying on. One more breath here. And then, however it's comfortable to you, just roll back onto your back. Bring the feet to the mat, arms down by your side. First, you can just rest your knees together and let everything relax for a couple more breaths. And bring the knees apart. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and slide your shoulder blades down your back. Using your stomach muscles, press the lower back into the mat. You can stay there and just keep pressing that. Kind of feels good on your lower back. Or if you want to take it a little further, you can lift the hips up. So whichever one you want to do, you can keep lifting and lowering the hips, or you can keep pressing and holding that lower back in. Take what you need. If your legs have had enough, you might just want to take the lower back part. If you're lifting your hips, on your next one, we're going to hold it up there. And then slowly lower the hips down and hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side if you'd like. Bring it back to center. Bring your hands on top of your knees and take your knees and make circles with it. So you're circling them away from each other at first. Stretching those hips out a little bit. And then circle the other way. Bring the knees back to center and set the feet down. Now we're going to take the right ankle and place it across and over the left leg. You can stay with just that or come into eye of the needle, hugging that leg in, clasping your hands either behind the left thigh or around the left shin. You're going to bring your shoulders up towards your ears and kind of slide them down. Let the shoulders and chest relax, but you will feel that that little movement deepens the stretch for you a little bit more. And then flex both of your feet. And just take nice deep breaths into that right hip. Notice your facial features, if you're tensing up your jaw or your face. So let that relax. Take one more deep breath here. And then place this left foot down on the mat, but keep your ankle glued to the leg. We're going to drop the foot over and place it on to the floor onto the left. If that doesn't quite go, you have your block there, you can set your foot on the block. We're going to rest this right hand down by your side, but use your left hand to grab the top of your right ankle. So you might have to scoot it out closer. If you can't quite reach it and grab your shin, that's fine. If you still can't reach, just reach towards it. But try to keep both shoulders straight and on the mat. We're looking for a stretch deep in that right hip. Sometimes you feel it right away, sometimes it takes holding it a little bit. So just kind of ease into it, breathe into it. Take one more deep breath here. And then release the ankle. Slowly bring the legs back up to center and set the right foot down. Readjust your hips. And then we'll take the left ankle across and over the right leg. Remember, you can just stay with just that. That might be enough stretch for you today. Or if you'd like the eye of the needle, go ahead and hug the knees in closer. And adjust the shoulders, kind of bring them up and then down like we did with our bridge. It does do something, so take it slow. You'll feel that in your hips. Flex both feet. Nice deep breaths into that left hip. Relaxing the jaw. And relax the neck and the shoulders and the chest as well. Take one more deep breath here. And then release the right foot down to the mat. Keep the ankle glued to the leg. And then drop the left foot over to the right. Left hand just rests down by your side. The right hand reaches for the left ankle. Scoot it up closer to you if you need to. But try to keep both those shoulders on the mat. We're not twisting in the shoulders. They're just flat on the mat. We're looking for that deep stretch in your left hip. One more breath here. And release the ankle, bring the legs back up to center. Set that foot down. Bring your arms open into Samara Cactus. We're just going to drop the knees back and forth a couple of times. Windshield wiper the legs. The chest. And the next time you go to the right, let your knees stay over to the right. Straighten your arms out and look over the left fingertips. Bring the knees back to center, head back up to center, and then drop the knees over to the left. Maybe look over the right fingertips. Bring the knees and the head back up to center. We're going to stretch the arms up overhead and stretch each leg out long along the mat, stretching through the toes, reaching through the fingers for a full body stretch. Nice deep breath here. And the next we'll come into banana. So either leave your hands the way they are, grab opposite elbows, or grab your right wrist with your left hand. And we'll walk the feet over to the left, bring the upper body over to the left, coming into the shape of a banana. Stretching that whole right side. If you can't quite feel it, just walk things closer together. Try and let that right shoulder relax as much as possible. You might feel a lot of tension in that. Try to breathe into it, let it relax. Let that whole right side open up and stretch. One more breath here. And then walk the feet back to center. Bring the upper body back to center. You grab your wrist, grab the other wrist, and then walk the feet over to the right, bring the upper body over to the right, finding your stretch on that left side. Let that left shoulder relax as much as possible. One more breath here. And then walk the feet back to center. Bring the upper body back to center. Let your arms rest down by your side. If there's any other last movements you'd like to do here, go ahead and do that now. And then we'll get ready to come into Shavasana. You're at home, so feel free to really get comfortable. Grab blankets, grab pillows. You worked hard all day and in your practice. Now it's time to let your body just be rewarded with relaxation. And when you're ready, laying down, closing your eyes. Quiet the thoughts. And then deepen and lengthen your breath. Allowing your body to take in your yoga practice. Starting with the top of your head, imagine the tension melting out of your forehead, and out of your jaw, and out of your neck. And imagine the tension melting out of your chest and shoulders, arms and hands. Imagine the tension melting out of your back, abdomen, hips, legs, and feet, until your whole body is completely relaxed. You have nothing to do for the next few minutes but relax. Shavasana. And you start to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make some wrist circles, ankle circles. And let your head drop over to the left. And then over to the right. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side. Pause it there for a moment. And when you're ready, pushing yourself up to seated with your eyes closed. If you'd like, you can place your hands at heart center. And take a nice deep breath here. Just take a moment to thank yourself for showing up tonight. Thank yourself for carving out a little time for you. It's not the easiest thing to do right now. And thank yourself for getting your body moving. And just accept your body for what it did without any judgment. Thank you for your practice and your presence. Namaste. Thank you, guys.